Hello, I'm Ali.
And I'm her best friend, Em.
This is She Said, She Said.
Join us for our ritual Wednesday evening glass of wine as we talk about the highs and lows of life as two foreign ladies living in France.
Think of this as the group chat you actually want to be on, where we talk about all the plates we're spinning and occasionally dropping.
We'll also give you the best tips we've learned from over a decade living among the Frenchies.
C'est parti! Hey,
Hello.
how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. I've been, busy, but all right.
How was your first Wednesday back? Because just for context, lovely listeners, I'm Em, and this is my good friend Ali. And we live in France, so the kids are off on a Wednesday. And
Yep.
it is Wednesday evening.
And we've made it through the day because you can see we're here.
In one piece.
You don't even look that tired.
I
What did
am.
you do?
In my
What's your
bones.
secret?
Do you know what my secret is? So today was my first day off work. Because I'm super lucky because I managed to negotiate going part-time. Well, lucky in that I now, I'm paid less. But I do have the day off with my kids. So today was the first day and it was exhausting, like physically, but it was lovely. So yeah. Do you know what? I did get a few cuddles and stuff today. So I feel like it was like today I'm feeling like it was a good choice to stay at home on a Wednesday. So that's really nice. Ask
That's
me in a
good.
few months.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll ask you next week.
Yeah, exactly. How was your Wednesday?
My Wednesday was all right. Yeah, it's all about, finding the new rhythm because, we're all back from holidays and they've started back to school. So that's a good thing for everyone. And that also went really well, to be honest. There were new teachers and new routines. So that was all right. And yeah, just like the last 2 days, it's gone a little bit less so. Like I'm kind of like out of balance. And I think that is what we wanted to talk about today, isn't it?
Beautiful segment into the topic of today. What a professional. You do want to talk about balance today, yeah. Oh, and I'm sorry it's kind of, yeah, you've not got the kind of holiday glow going on anymore. That's really annoying.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. What did you do this weekend? Did you have a good weekend after the holidays or?
The weekend was really nice. Yeah, we did. We had some friend time with all of our
Did.
friends and our kids, and then we did a brocante, like what do you even call it, a flea market in our village.
It's like a flea market, like car boot sale, but maybe like more chic, I would say. Like
Oh,
with some
ours
vintage
definitely
stuff,
wasn't chic. Ours
wasn't it?
definitely was car boot sale. It was like, it's called vide grenier, so empty your what's the name for it?
To your garage.
Empty your garage, kind of. So you have everything, like from plates to socks over toilet seats. I don't know. Some people, I saw toilet seat. I'm not lying. Just like stuff people don't want anymore, and it's amazing that it's amazing to see what other people are actually happy to take home with them.
Yeah, amazing. You were
Yeah.
selling, right? You were selling your
We were
stuff.
selling though, but I was mostly there for the kids because they are in the business of like selling all their toys. And turns out the toys went away perfectly. So
Did they? Did they
yeah,
make loads of money?
I mean, loads of money, more than $100.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
amazing. And you're
they
selling them
were
for like
very,
€1.
really good at it. They sold like bikes. We have so many bikes in our house. And maybe for context, I went with the two girls, so my daughter and our neighbor's daughter, because we live in a house with our friends. We bought a house in the French countryside with our friends. So this is more for the listeners. You obviously know that. And yeah, and the girls, both almost same age, just got so deep into taking everything out of the garage that no one wanted anymore and polishing the bikes that they wanted to sell. It was really impressive, really, really cool. And they made me get up at 6 a.m. on Sunday to drive them there. And then they spent the whole day sitting on their chairs and talking to people trying to sell stuff. So I feel like $100 was like, they earned them. It's
Absolutely the hustlers. But
amazing, right?
I love that they're into kinda like that Mary Kondo, like, getting rid of stuff. Because like, coming
Yeah.
back to balance, that is I mean, don't you feel so much more balanced when you've, like, given a cupboard, like, a good kinda, like,
You
clear
do,
out?
you do. But, like, is that a thing about after the summer holidays doing that? I don't think I felt like that before, but this year definitely feel like I just want to clear out, get rid of stuff.
Yeah, like spring cleaning, but in September.
Yeah, September cleaning.
Or when you got your period. That's always a good time to do it.
I never realized that might be, though. Okay, I'll
No?
keep an
Ha
eye out. It might
have a
be.
look at the
Maybe that's a
timings
moment.
next time you do a big clear out.
Am I gonna throw away a load of the stuff that I wanted to keep? Please warn
Possi
me.
possibly, yeah, possibly. But I love a good brocante. I went to a brocante, and, the key, like, my tip for brocantes is there's, like, a really fancy area near where I live because me and Ali both kind of moved out of Lyon, in France to kind of more countryside areas, and, to go to, like, really posh areas because their brocantes are nice. They've got, like, yeah,
Ah,
like, really fancy stuff. This one at the weekend wasn't super fancy, but I got some, like, nice plant pots, giving away
right.
my age there.
I always
Uh,
wonder where you buy them. Plant pots.
plant
Okay.
pots, yeah. I must say, like, my love of brocanting is kind of inspired by did I send you her profile, Sydney PSE? I think I'm saying her
You
name
just
right. She's
yeah,
like an influencer on, Instagram, and she's like
yeah,
she loves brocants. She's like, everything is so French and chic. She lives in the Provence countryside, so yeah, give her a check out if you wanna know more about brocants
definitely.
'cause
She's really good at finding stuff that just would look perfect in any, like, stylish home, isn't she?
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. So
Oh, back
today
to
we're gonna talk about
balance.
balance.
Yeah.
I
Let's talk
feel like
about
we need to do some ums.
what does balance mean to you, Em?
I'd say at the moment, balance is kind of like the kind of constant struggle that I'm having is like a work-life balance, I would say. And then when I say life, I mean kind of like, for me specifically, family, but also friends. So like, creative pursuits, like doing stuff that kind of, fulfills me that I don't
Like
get
this
paid for.
podcast?
Yeah, like
Mhm.
this podcast, definitely.
Mm,
'Cause I started kind of a job that has a lot more responsibility maybe like a bit over a year ago, and since then it's for me, it's like a constant, like, push and pull of, am I spending enough time with my family? Am I present enough at work? It's like a constant push and pull, and I think if you're spending more time on one,
yeah,
you feel guilty about the other. That's just a
yeah.
constant cycle that I'm in.
Like, I mean, you only have 24 hours in a day. You cannot, you can't clone yourself. But just to make you feel better, I did do some research. Yes, I did. I read a study, and this was about taking away mom guilt, basically. It's just this researcher from Harvard, and she did a study of the effects of working moms on their children. The study is across 29 countries, so it's not only in the US, it's, from Harvard, but she found out that daughters of employed mothers are more likely to work and lead and earn more, which I don't think per se is like a life goal, but I mean, that's what she found out.
And be
And
nice.
that sons spend more time on family care. I almost think that one is more important for me. So, yeah, it shows that, maternal employment shapes adult lives. So don't feel bad about working. You're being a great, example to your kids.
Love you for that, man. Yeah, I think I probably feel the guilt more towards my kids, I would say. I just hate that situation where, where like, because they finish school here at 4:30. But I actually, to create more balance and less stress in my life, like I found a babysitter to come and fetch them after school. So I
Yeah,
get home for 6:30,
yeah,
which is already in my kind of line of work quite early to get
yeah,
back.
yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
still kind of working a bit when I get home. And I just hate that situation where I'm like trying to respond to emails and not really listening to what they're saying and they want me to read a story to them. And yeah, I that is not the kind of mum that I wanted to
Not
be.
an, not an ideal
And
situation.
but I mean, it's fine. I would say at the moment I'm in quite a good place with it.
Yeah.
Um, and I would say
Also, they'll get used to it probably, right?
yeah, yeah,
Do you
yeah.
reckon?
And I would say Wednesdays off is really helping with that. It's a good break in the week. We spend the full day together. I know I'm so lucky to have that because not everyone does. I'd
Yeah.
probably caveat as well, like I'm saying my kids, but, family can like family finding balance with work and family can mean so much, right? I mean,
Course,
I
taking
have
care of a person in your life that's close to you, which maybe isn't your child, yeah.
exactly, yeah, like a lot of, you know, I have friends who've got like kind of older parents who are really, taking up a lot of space in their life, not in a negative way, but, in terms of, there's just a lot of responsibility there,
Yeah,
or, siblings maybe who need support, just being pulled in different directions, right? That's what's difficult to balance.
absolutely. Um, and I think you said, we both kind of felt maternity leave was like a difficult one also for work-life balance, wasn't it? But it was like in the other direction.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I definitely had that feeling because I was like incredibly lucky to have a year off with both of my kids, which is a very British thing to do, very un-French, which I'm sure we'll kind of come to at some point. French women often have like 3 months or
Yeah, 2 or
less
3
than a
months.
year.
Yeah,
But yeah, I definitely felt a bit like, oh God, my whole identity is tied to mothering and, feeding this baby, look after this baby. um, it didn't feel that balanced actually, and it kind of felt unbalanced. Yeah, the scale felt tipped in the other
yeah.
direction, which was
It's probably one of the moments in your life that really does happen quite in an extreme way, right?
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. What about you? What does balance mean for you, Ali?
Um, so preparing the podcast, I was like, "Oh, yeah, balance." Work-life balance was kinda like the first one that came to my mind, and then I was thinking about, like, balancing, I don't know, being connected, being on social media and not being on social media, and
Yeah.
I don't know, working out or not working out and resting, or, like, there's so many, different, um, parts of your life where you try to find balance, and, introspective person that I can be, I was like, "Oh, you know, I'm just gonna say it out loud. I'm quite shit at balancing my life." I really think so. I'm just struggling with it in so many ways, but I'm telling myself that is because you always try to find balance, but balance isn't something you can actually achieve. You just like try to rebalance all the time.
Mm.
And I think one of the solutions I found is definitely just letting go of a lot of things like ideals, a myth of like being able to have it all. For me as like a freelancer, it's often difficult as well to balance like how much should I put into my work and how much more clients do I need and how much time can I spend with my family? You know, that kind of difficult sometimes. Then I thought about a moment where I was like specifically unbalanced. And it was this situation where I think I had 3 kids under the age of 5 or something. And I was on the loo, had 1 child either attached to my breast or in a carrier, I don't really remember, but 1 child was definitely attached to me, and then had another one, I think, on the potty opposite in, like, a tiny, tiny toilet in our apartment back then, and then, like, kinda running up and down my leg, with a car or something like that, and the 3rd one just standing next to me being like, "Dress my doll! Put the shoe on!" or something like that, and I just had this out of body experience where I was just, like, looking at myself from the outside and just being like, "Wow, do you even exist anymore? Is that even a thing? Like, how unbalanced can your life be?" And I think what I realize now is that there's just some moments in life where balance is not possible, or you just have to accept that it's unbalanced and that's just what it is because, you can talk about me time and alone time but like sometimes that's just really difficult to get in specific episodes of your life, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
really good point. I think we do need to take a moment to like appreciate that mental image of you like sat on the toilet with 3 children just like
Hands down.
palming at you, just in like,
Uh,
oh my God.
Probably hair like that. Was I
Yeah.
even dressed? I don't know.
Oh God.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
kind. Mm.
for sure. I think, well, specifically, I mean, Ali, you had like 3 kids in quite quick succession, and they were like you said, they were so young all together. So in that moment, like, even the most, like, it's not about organization or, being supported. It's like I don't think you can have balance in that situation, and you need to, like, yeah, give yourself a break because I don't think anybody could have. But maybe now, do you feel like you found it a little more? Like now they're a little bit older because all your kids are at school now, right?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely think so. I really had loads of moments, and while I'm good at pointing out when I'm very unbalanced, I think I'm quite good at appreciating at least small moments where I'm like, "Wow, it's so much easier now," when they all go brush their teeth without me telling them 10 times, or when we were on holidays and I actually read a few books. I didn't do that in such a long time. I read like a couple of books in 2 weeks or something. And so, yeah, definitely feel like, on some scales, I can find balance again.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, it must feel very like kind of,
Hope is
yeah.
out there.
Hope is on the horizon for anyone in that situation. I think it can
Mm,
tip quite quickly though, right? Because when I think of kind of a moment where where I would say I was particularly unbalanced,
mm,
I think last year, maybe from kind of summer to Christmas, my partner is away a lot for work. And that was a period where he was specifically away a lot, like really a lot, kind of every
yeah,
week,
yeah,
3 nights a week. And I have 2 kids, who at the time were 2 and 4, so needed quite a lot from me as well. And then I'd kind of taken on this role, rightly or wrongly, that had more responsibility. And I just remember just being in it and being kind of like just buzzing all the time. My head was
yeah,
buzzing because you move from one thing to the next and you don't have time
yeah.
to get
You're
ahead
just
of
like a little
yourself.
hamster in your wheel, not getting out of
Yeah,
it. You know
yeah.
how crazy they do you ever realize how crazy they'll look is when they're in it?
For anyone not watching the video, Alex just did a really good impression of a hamster looking crazy in a wheel, which is definitely going to be a clip that we put on social media. Yeah, but I think, oh, my friend actually, I was talking to her and being like, I'm just frazzled. Like, I don't know what can give. Like, nothing can give, though. That's the thing. Like, I need to work for a multitude of reasons. I have to look after my kids for a multitude of reasons. And she kind of gave me this like analogy of like toast. So she said, you
Right,
just need to make sure you don't get to the stage where you're like burnt toast. Like
right.
it's kind of normal for people to get a bit char grilled, a bit grilled, or a bit kind of like a bit frazzled. But so long as you
Yeah,
don't get to the burnt
right,
stage. And that period for me is now referred to as like my burnt toast period. Like I just,
right.
yeah,
How do
it was,
you get back to an unburnt toast?
I, sorry.
Let's get a new one. How did you do
Yeah.
it?
Um, I had quite a serious conversation with my partner about what I needed to kind of support me while he was away, I would say. So yeah, we put things in place to make it a bit easier so that I wasn't the one who had to be at the school gates every day. I think I settled into my job a little more.
Yeah,
Wasn't as quite as stressed, like to be performing all the time.
and you
Um
had your mom come over, right, to
And I
help
had,
you?
yeah, that I was gonna say
Yeah,
the huge factor was, my mum came to live with me because I think I kinda sent out a bit of a distress call to her,
yeah,
and so I'm, like, yeah, incredibly lucky that I she retired at Christmas, so she could come and help me
mm.
a lot. So, yeah, burnt toast levels since then have been pretty low. I'd say I've been
Okay,
bread. I've been a sandwich, sometimes a little.
nice. Yeah, sometimes a little streak of burn, but then
Yeah, but all
it's a
good,
kind
I
of
would say.
magic toast where it can disappear.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a magic toast situation. Um, but yeah, what about you? Do you have stuff that you put in place? Have you got stuff in the next few weeks or months that you're gonna do to kind of maintain balance in your life?
Yeah, I think I kinda need, holidays planned. when I'm in one holiday, I need to know which one is the next one, and it can be just like, drive up to Germany to my parents-in-law, or it can be something quite simple. It doesn't have to be like a big family holiday, but, like, I just need them lined up so that I kinda know, okay, just have to kinda, like, hold my head above water for, like, 6 weeks, and then there's this 1 week where we do this probably fun thing. You never know when you're on holiday, but probably quite fun with the kids. And like that, I know we try to find in little slots to spend with my friends. So I'm gonna go surfing
Ooh,
with my gym besties. They're very, very sporty girls. And so we'll
amazing.
just go to the Atlantic Ocean, 3 days of, you know, ocean waves, probably a couple of workouts, and not much else. Definitely no chores at home, and so, yeah. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. I think that's gonna, you know, help me even keep my balance now because I know that's coming.
That's really cool, yeah. Just for
Yeah.
context as well, Ali is like a superstar surfer, like, and Jim, like, yeah,
Don't
she's
say
a
that.
you are. I've seen you surfing. I've seen you on a board.
I
You look
have you.
so good.
Oh.
Do you find sport helps you like keep balance, like
Yeah, and
kind
I
of
actually thought,
emotionally?
that really is one of the things that I've been able to put in place that is lasting. That's been like since I'm a freelance journalist, I can just much better organize my time to go to the gym at midday or in the afternoon, or, I just find slots, and I'm quite good at going, but I probably helps that I'm going with, friends, but yeah, but, like, yeah, I definitely think that is something that I put in place that helps me loads to feel better in my body and then also in my mind.
For
Mm.
sure. I feel like it doesn't even need to be kind of like intense sport as well, right? Like
No, it can be
I've started
yoga. Yeah.
walking from like the station to work, and it's
Yeah.
such like a 20-minute walk, 15-20 minutes, and it just like the headspace and like emotional and nervous system balance that gives you
Yeah.
is so good.
Are you able to keep your, phone in your pocket when you do that?
No, I nearly get run over pretty much daily because yeah, or like I often like order things that I need to order online,
Mm. Yeah.
and I needed to order a table and I got it delivered to our old address because I was trying to do it as I was walking along. So yeah, maybe I should just like look around me and rather than do that.
Do you have
Uh,
anything planned for your balance,
do I have
emotional
any
or otherwise?
You know what? This podcast actually really helps me with balance, to be
Oh,
honest. Yeah, definitely. In terms of like feeling that like creative outlet where it's, yeah, this podcast definitely helps me maintain balance and just have like that moment for myself. Um, that's kind of not for anyone else. Yeah, that's really good. We've spoken loads about being unbalanced. Can you think about a time when you felt really balanced and everything was kind of in place and, that's the holy grail?
I can think about one moment that kinda, like, struck me, and this is, I think, about culture. This was just after I had my 3rd child, and I went back to the hospital to, just for some medical checkup, and I was with this quite young gynecologist, and, she did her, checks, and then she, like, sat me down and was like, "Okay, now I want to know, do you have childcare?" And I was like, "Do I have childcare? My child is 3 weeks old. Like, what are you talking about?" And she was like, "It is essential that you get time for yourself." And I was like, "Oh my god, I just love you, woman." And, till today, I
Yeah.
still think about her because I just think that it just was so eye-opening because in my culture, it's more about, putting your needs after the child's needs. And I'm not sure someone at the hospital would tell you, that that is your number one priority to get alone time. So I just really thought that was, and it's a person who's quite has a lot of authority. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was so thankful to her. And I did think mm, that probably for women in French society, even if they would maybe not say the same thing, it is probably easier finding a balance than it is at least in German culture, because you have childcare, because it is acceptable for you to have those Wednesdays off, but be there just be there as like a perfect other member of your team on the other days, and no judgment when you put your child in full-time childcare after 2 months. It's just like that's just how it's been, and that's just, you know, that's just how it's accepted. And so you have that freedom of doing it or not doing it. It's not like you and I did that, but we would have had that freedom. We didn't feel like it was imposed on us, you know? And
Yeah.
I think that makes a
I
huge difference.
That's so true. I think choice is a big thing in it, right? If you've chosen to go back to work, some people do, some people don't have the choice. And I think that have if you've chosen or not, that has a huge impact about how you feel about something, no matter what, right? If you're doing a job because you chose to do it, you wanted to do that, that's the career you chose, you're going to feel a lot different about it than if, you're there to make bank, to pay your rent
Yeah.
at the end of the month, which we all are a little bit. And I think coming back to French culture as well, it's not just about like the childcare. I think in terms of like holidays, like French people really understand the need for a holiday and the need to like disconnect to rebalance, I would
Yeah,
say.
definitely. You know how
Um,
it's how in French companies you have to take 2 weeks in a row in the summer. I
yeah,
don't think that exists in Germany.
no,
You
definitely
just
not.
have to. They're like, "You have to because it's good for you, so bye-bye."
Minimum
Right?
2 weeks.
Minimum 2
Yeah,
weeks.
yeah,
That's amazing.
exactly. And
That's
it's true.
quite
I came
cool.
back feeling like balanced, I
Better,
felt
yeah.
good.
Yeah. 2 weeks is good to recharge batteries even when it's a holiday with children. That's yeah.
Definitely. I honestly don't know if I can think of a moment where I was like, like a period of time where I was particularly balanced.
Mm.
But I did read recently that it's more of a daily thing. Like as someone was
No
saying that it was
way.
more of a daily thing, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, maybe some days of balance will look like 70% work, 20% family,
Yeah.
10% friends. The next day might be 50% friends,
I
10,
like that. Sorry,
yeah?
go ahead. I really like that because it takes the pressure off. Just be
Yeah.
like, "Okay, today wasn't balanced, but you know what? Tomorrow's another day."
Yeah,
I
and
like
it's like
that.
it's a daily adjustment, a
Mm.
daily thing.
Okay,
Uh,
so rebalancing from one day to another, basically.
yeah, definitely. And it looks different for everyone, right? Like some people will
Yeah,
feel
of course.
particularly balanced spending all their time at work. Some more people
Yeah.
will feel really balanced spending all their time with their friends.
I'd love to hear about, our listeners, what they're doing to
Yeah.
balance. Like, is there a magic solution?
What is the
Or
secret?
is
Tell us.
it or is it just, like, loads of small things?
Yeah.
Self-care, I don't know, doing your nails, watching a series when the kids are in bed, or something like that, I don't know.
I think for me, yeah, balance is like less like the big things. For example, if I'm on my own, I know I'm still gonna like make like a really nice meal, which is like healthy, got all the food groups in there because I deserve it. That
Yeah,
kind of makes me feel balanced if I'm treating myself well, I suppose.
yeah, treating yourself well. Just like, yeah, for me going to the gym, for you going for runs, you're pretending like I'm so sporty, but you're the crazy person who ran a marathon when their child was 1.
2 years ago, I haven't run one since.
Oh,
That's
wow,
because I
so
need the
aggressive.
balance of being alone when I was running.
I remember talking to your mom who was like, "I'm not sure if she's running or running away."
100% running away from my responsibilities.
Oh, so
Definitely.
cool.
Oh man.
Right.
So I suppose we can take from that like balance is something that we need to like constantly be assessing, right? From one day to the next.
From one phase to the next.
Yeah,
Mm,
definitely.
yeah.
I think you had a pretty good analogy about it.
It's a journey, not a destination.
Yeah, I like that.
I think
I
that's
really
it.
like that. It's for sure because I like what is the holy grail? Do you know,
Yeah.
even if you're balanced, would you really feel it?
Yeah. Well, maybe it helps to be super vocal when you feel balanced. That is sometimes like my strategy, just be like, "Oh my god," "I feel so good right now," so that I don't forget about those moments. And I'm like,
It's a good
"I can
idea.
do definitely feel good about this now."
I feel balanced
Okay.
now. We've talked about balance for half an hour. Lovely listeners, yeah, tell us if you have the secret to balance. Do please send us a message on social media on She Said podcast on Instagram. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah, thank
And we
you.
hope you enjoyed this episode of She Said, She Said.
Yeah, till next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.